The endless first day of fall. Maya loved autumn. Every year, she waited impatiently for the leaves to turn golden and for the air to become crisp with the scent of pumpkin spice. Even though high school felt like a trap, the season held the promise of warmth and change. One autumn afternoon, Maya and her friends decided to make the most of an endless summer before the school year began. They drove out to Waverly Grove, a sprawling park famous for its picturesque scenic views. Hollow trees with barbed limbs stood sentinel, and an ancient oak tree stood like an elder at the heart of the park. "Let's take a photo by that tree," Lila exclaimed, pointing with enthusiasm. Her teal scarf fluttered in the wind, contrasting against the stark bark. Maya complied, her heart racing with excitement. A few clicks later, the group huddled together, laughter spilling into the air like confetti. However, when Maya glanced at the photo, she felt an unsettling prick of dread. The tree looked oddly distorted, shadows wrapping around it like dark tendrils. She shrugged it off, focusing instead on the next moment. The sun dipped lower, casting a beautiful golden hue across the grass. As the day began to close, Maya felt a pull toward the ancient oak, drawn by its imposing nature. It stood tall and proud, its leaves whispering secrets as the wind danced through its branches. "Let's get one more picture," she suggested, her friends now beginning to tire. As dusk settled in, they gathered around the oak once more. Lila snapped a photo, but this time, nothing. Nothing but a strange buzzing noise enveloped them, like the low hum of electricity. Suddenly, everything shifted. The buzz crescendoed into a horrifying roar, and in an instant, Maya found herself back at the start of the day, sitting in the car with her friends, heading toward the park once more. "Maya, you okay?" Lila asked, glancing back in concern. "What the?" Maya whispered, feeling her heart pound against her chest. It had all felt so real, but it was over. She shook her head, convincing herself that it was just a weird daydream as they arrived at Waverly Grove again. The beauty of the day wrapped around them like an enchanted cloak, and before long, they were taking their first photo. They laughed, grinned, and began to chase each other through the vibrant landscape. But soon, the sinking realization washed over Maya again. She was stuck in this loop, this sickening repetition of time. With a racing heart, Maya grew anxious as the day wore on. The sun didn't set, towering above them like a watchful god. They gathered around the oak tree, and just as Lila clicked the shutter, the buzz returned, drowning her instincts in dread. Maya felt herself slipping under the weight of fear. "Not again," she screamed, but her voice was swallowed within the chaos, and darkness swallowed her whole once more. Each new day felt eerily identical, the same jokes, the same conversations spilling out of her friends' mouths as the world reset. Day after day, they gathered around the cursed oak tree, and each time it distorted, dark branches reaching out like skeletal fingers, beckoning her closer with terrifying allure. "Is it just me?" Maya finally broke down one afternoon, her voice trembling. "Why do I feel like we're reliving today?" Lila glanced at her, confused. "What are you talking about? We're just hanging out. Let's take a picture." Panic surged within her. "No, we can't. It'll happen again." Her friends laughed, mistaking her horror for a joke. "Okay, Maya, get it together." Resigned and desperate, Maya determined that she had to confront whatever malevolent force was haunted within the oak. That night, amidst a rising moon, she crept back to the park alone, heart pounding amid shadows stretching across the path. The oak stood ominously, swaying slightly as if amused by her boldness. "Let's end this. Whatever you are, just let us go," she yelled, her voice echoing in the stillness. To her shock, the ground trembled. The tree responded, branches spiraling down like limbs, constricting around her. "You are part of this day now," a rasping voice echoed from the core of the oak, "and you will never escape." Quote, in that moment, the world blurred into darkness. The cycle consumed her, wrapping her in an endless purgatory. Days turned into weeks, and Maya became a ghost of her former self, forever trapped in the first day of fall. As the years passed, the laughter of her friends faded, and she became yet another whisper among the trees of Waverly Grove, praying for someone who might listen. But the oak stood firm, the keeper of her soul, sealing the autumn air with the promise of never-ending dread. Soon, Another group of friends would arrive, blissfully unaware of the looping nightmare they were about to enter.